Welcome to Punky's Pro Wrestling. I accidentally deleted our intro, so I have to make a new one. This is going to be, I'm trying to think of what category to put it in. It's not really wrestling news, it's news on one wrestler. And, anyway, Scott Levy, better known as Raven, has been diagnosed with early onset Parkinson's disease. Also, check out his new documentary, The Raven Effect. Nevermore, The Raven Effect. It will be streaming in November. I'm not sure on what service yet. He blames his diagnosis on taking shots to the head, wrestling bumps to the head. I wonder if that's for me. As well as past drug and alcohol abuse. And I will definitely watch The Raven Effect and give you a full review. Yeah, we do have a package out here. I wonder if that's my Timo package. Can't tell. When he leaves, I'll go out and find out. Nope, he's going across the street. Anyway, so he has tremors and issues. And it's earlier onset because he's only, in his 50s? So it's unfortunate. He might be right around 60. So certainly prayers for Raven. I know from listening to Raven that he grew up because one of his parents was Jewish and one of his parents was Christian. I think they were Catholic. He grew up in both. I'm not sure what his faith is now, but or if he goes by a faith, but he talked about previously about growing up in both. Because obviously with a name like Levy, Levy, that's Jewish. But his mother's side wasn't Jewish. So he had his Jewish father's side and then his mother's Christian side. And he grew up being raised in both. So he is now helping young wrestlers learn the business, commentating, continuing work in the business, but not actually wrestling because he's too old. Sorry, Scotty. Sorry, Scotty. Too old. And let me quickly see how old he is. I want to say he's in his late 50s, but...
Sorry, I don't understand.
I didn't ask my phone a thing, so I'm not sure why it spoke up. But let's see. Okay, he's 61. So he's 10 years older than me, which is what I thought. That's still young. Hold on. Just to give you a little bit of background on Raven. Raven started his career as Scotty the Body in the World Wrestling Federation. And at that time, he was 20 years old. He began working backstage and writing for Vince, which is crazy. His father was senior editor of the National Enquirer. That's crazy. And he soon became Johnny Polo, which was a manager. And he came into ECW and became Raven. And of course, ECW, WCW, and WWE, their ECW arm. He became Raven. And in WCW, he actually had shoot, what were they called? I can't think of what they were called. Raven's Nest, Raven's Flock, which was pretty cool, the way that they did that. In all actuality. Trying to find personal life on this thing. India, comedy. Music videos, merchandising, personal life. Okay. He has an IQ of 143 and is a member of Mensa and the Theta Chi fraternity. He has type 2 diabetes. Um, he also talks about the fact that he has histrionic and narcissistic personality disorder. He talked about that in his Raven Effect. Okay. Yeah, his so yeah, he definitely had an interesting life. He's from Philadelphia. Um, he brought Kimono Wanalea into ECW. She was actually a stripper that he met at a club, and I guess there was something about her. And he brought her in, and Paul Heyman used her. So he was pretty good at spotting talent and spotting things. Um, and like I said, at 20 years old in the World Wrestling Federation, he was already helping book, which is amazing. I cannot wait to see the Raven Effect. So, um, like I said, I am going to keep Raven in my prayers. I think it's funny that his father was the um, editor in chief over at the Inquirer, the National Enquirer. What else was his son gonna do? He's a guy that runs a tabloid, and his son gets into professional wrestling. Of course he does. But anyway, excuse me. Thank you so much for being here. Like I said, I wanted to talk to you about this because I think it's important. Not only because he's a legend in the business, but because he's a human being. He was married for several years. They divorced. They didn't have any children, or but like I said, he is one of the most brilliant minds in the wrestling business. So I wanted to shine the spotlight on him, let you know what's going on, and excuse me, and ask for your prayers. Bye, guys. God bless you. Have a wonderful long weekend.